not an A there. I went and looked back at the film. Is he almost like an extra midfielder there? Because that first Golasso, it was his interception that went to João Paulo that ended up with that. Does he come back a little further than Raul does? Is that an advantage?
You're talking about in our build-up?
Yeah. He intercepted a pass.
Okay, but that's his defending. I mean, I expect all of them to defend. I'd have to look at it again, but does he drop deeper than Raul? I mean, sometimes Raul drops if he doesn't find the ball. Freddie, I mean, forwards are similar. I mean, if they don't touch the ball for a few minutes, they'll drop back and try and get it. I don't think there's anything specific to it.
When you talked about Jackson, just because sometimes we'll bring up stats and you don't particularly care for them sometimes, but with Jackson in that last game, was there a stat or anything like that really kind of signifies that he had a great game to you, or is it eyeball kind
It's
of
an eye test.
It is.
Eye test. The stat that I do like, Jada, because you are correct, you don't like a lot of stats. I use them. I have to use them in my job, but the one I like is duels.
So the 6 that he got.
Well, duels, team duels. I want our team to out-duel the other team. That's what I like.
In the fourth minute, he had that clear out to Jordan Moore. Is that another wrinkle you're putting in? This is Jackson Reagan, as opposed to playing from the back.
He just, we're trying to balance with playing out from the back and playing a little more direct to Jordan and Christian, because I think those guys are very good at individual duels. Sometimes when you hit long balls to a center forward and they're up against giant center backs, it's not a good deal. Like Raul going against, whoever, Chiellini, or something like that. But when you have a guy on the right side like Christian who can jump and is very good in the air, and you've got a strong, powerful guy on the left, usually outside backs are not big, tall, guys that win aerial duels. So that's probably one reason for it, just playing to our strengths.
Watching that game again, what really caught my eye was how little you allowed ourselves to really generate in the final third. Where did that come from? What do you think worked well to prevent them from really giving you some trouble?
I think the team has, shown that they weren't happy. We were not happy from not making the playoffs. We had, again, the Club World Cup to latch onto in the preseason. They're determined. We've always played here with a high line of confrontation, or I always like playing with a high line of confrontation. I like pressing on the opponent's goal kick, staying high. Goalkeeper catches the ball. I like the team to stay high, but the players are actually accomplishing it. And it's 2 games in, so it's a little small sample size, but their energy, their, the work that they put in, because defending is work, that has been exceptional. They're just doing it. They're getting it done.
And now a few games in, including the Club World Cup, how do you evaluate how Alex Roldanis has gotten up the field more?
Well, we actually thought he didn't get up the field high enough. We want him or Christian want to be a little bit higher up the field against RSL, but he's very comfortable on that side with his brother. Whether he's the highest guy or Christian's the highest guy, they work together very well.
Can you talk about the balance of the 3 central midfielders, JP, Albert, and Nico, and how they've helped the team win the past 2 matches?
Yeah. There are a lot of guys out there that would say games are won or lost in the midfield, and you're looking at 3 DPs, 3, very extremely talented players. So we have an advantage over a lot of teams in that area. But again, they have to do the work. So they're playing together as a unit. When do we slip Josh in there? When do we slip Obed, Danny? I mean, we'll have to have some rotations, but right now, those 3 are playing at a high level.
You mentioned that. I mean, Obed. I mean, when will we see him?
You'll see him. He's got to look. You guys will see Raul. You'll see Obed. You'll see Josh. You'll see Javi. You'll see all those guys. We're going to need everybody the whole year.
I guess what I'm asking is he back in a situation where fighting for
He's available. Yes, he is available for selection. Yes, absolutely.
You always want to play your game, but maybe some teams are not going to allow you to do certain things. Cincinnati is a team that has a very strong, quick attacking group. Lucho that moves a lot in the final third. How do you deal with that and still trying to play your game, but being conscious that it's just a little bit different?
Well, each opponent is different. Yes, but we just worked on some defending today. We'll work on some attacking tomorrow. Thursday and Friday will be review days. We'll show them film. I mean, it's the same process.
What's the best way to kind of minimize the impact that kind of that floating midfielder like Acosta can have?
Just an awareness. I mean, the way we set up defensively, you got, two holding guys that are very good. That area gets congested very fast. So let's see what they do.
And staying, is that a conversation that you need to have with Craig, or is it kind of a given that you want him to stay with y'all and have a contract extension?
Are you asking me if Nuhu is going to stay, or
No, is that is it a given from you that you would want a player like him to stay, or
Well,
him specifically? Or do you have
Nuhu-
to talk to him or talk? Could you
well,
say
Craig and I are partners.
Yeah.
We make a lot of decisions on a lot of different things as into regards to the team. And if Nuhu decides to sign, and if we decide we want to keep him, you guys will hear about it very soon.
With the talent that he has, is it a conversation though?
It's not much of a conversation, Jada.
Brian, going back to Alex and him being up front a little bit more, are you looking for them to kind of cut in, not just stay wide? Is that emphasis once like Alex is up?
Now, were you asking about Christian when he said he wished his brother's left-footed shot went in? I mean, no. I mean, each moment in the game, that's why we love our sport, is fluid. So we have tactics, we know what we want to do, but then you give the players creative freedom that if they see something, they take advantage of it. That's always been my philosophy. We've got a bunch of talented players. You don't want to put them in a box. Okay, stay in this area of the field. Okay, if you move here, this guy's got to cover, da-da-da-da-da. But when you have the ball at your foot, or when you're moving without the ball into a space that you see, they have my blessing.
So the players close and
You were playing some short-sighted games today. I guess if you call 4x4, 5x5. What do you hope players are getting out of that? And what's the
From a physical perspective, it's accels and decels. They got to be short, sharp, change direction, all that. That's physical side of it. And then 4v4, well, 5v5 if you include goalkeepers, is a really hard exercise. If you lose track of your guy for 1 second on a condensed field, it's going in the back of the net. So that's working on that defending, making sure that you as a 4 work collectively and you as an individual are good in your defending, because, like I said, one mistake and the other team's going to score. So that was the emphasis for today.
Christian talked about how, as good as you have looked on offense in terms of creating chances and scoring chances, he noted that there's been quite a few chances that haven't been converted. Is that something that you want them to be sharper about? Like, that it's not enough to that you can't assume that you're going to create all these chances, that you have to be a little bit more lethal when you get them?
Well, again, I'll try and remove the stats out of my conversation a little bit, but I will dip my toe in a little bit. So the expected goals numbers for both the first 2 games were very good. Last year, towards the end of the year, they weren't very good. So how do you sustain that? How are we going to sustain that? It's by consistent training. It's by guys feeling confident, the attacking movements. When teams start to figure out what we're doing now, can we adapt? Can we adjust? I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. But the objective is always, to create as many goal-scoring opportunities as possible. But where the stats don't get it is that you can have a game where you're getting murdered and you can't get out of your half, and you're playing, 5 teenagers, and all of a sudden you bring Raul Ruidiaz on and he has one shot on goal and it goes over the guy's head and you win 1-0. I mean, there's games like that too where, that's just the beauty of our sport.
With how well a Bear's playing, how difficult is it to fit Raul back in when the time is right?
He'll get back in. We're working on that.
The team played really well in transition in the first game and then won by dominating possession in the second game. Can you talk about the versatility of that midfield and how they're the key to the team being successful no matter what style is being played?
Well, I think our team is the team. Whether one game we have a little more transition than the next game, again, it depends on your opponent. I wouldn't say that our transition was bad or didn't lead to some chances against RSL. Maybe our possession numbers were high, but I think they were similar, Colorado to RSL. I mean, I wouldn't call us a truly possession-based team because we've got Jordan and Christian and Chu and a bunch of fast guys up front. But, again, midfield, having smart soccer players is always one of the things I like to say, and JP, Albert, Nico, they can dictate tempo. Like in the first half when they were trying to slow the game down with their goalkeeping antics. We got to create some more tempo. Then in the second half when it was in our favor, then maybe we slowed the tempo down.